Hello friends, today I want to share a story with you. It's a classic tale about a very clever young man. He lived long ago in a grand kingdom. His father was the king's most trusted minister. The minister was known for his sharp mind and wise advice. Everyone in the kingdom respected him. They believed his wisdom was unmatched. The king often called upon him to solve difficult problems. The minister was proud of his reputation. He hoped his son would one day follow in his footsteps. But he worried about his son, who seemed a bit different. The son was a quiet young man. He didn't speak much in large groups. He didn't boast or try to show off his knowledge. His father saw this as a weakness. He thought his son was not as sharp or as ambitious as he should be. One day, the king had a question. It was a riddle for all the wise people in his court. He held up a beautiful shiny silver coin. He asked, "What is this coin truly worth?" The great thinkers and scholars began to debate. They talked about the value of silver. They discussed the economy and the power of the kingdom. But no one could give an answer that truly satisfied the king. The minister was puzzled by the king's question. He went home feeling troubled. He couldn't find the answer himself. The next day the king asked the same question again. This time, the minister's quiet son was present. He had come to the court with his father. As the scholars argued again, the young man stepped forward. He bowed respectfully to the king. He spoke in a clear, calm voice. "Your Majesty," he said, "this coin is worth exactly 1 silver coin. Nothing more, and nothing less." The king looked surprised for a moment. Then, a wide smile spread across his face. The king was delighted with the simple, direct answer. It was the truth he had been looking for. He laughed and said, "You are absolutely right." To reward his cleverness, the king gave the young man the silver coin. The minister watched, confused. He thought his son's answer was too simple. It seemed foolish. The other ministers whispered among themselves. They thought the boy was making fun of the king. They couldn't understand why the king was so pleased. The son simply took the coin, bowed again, and quietly stepped back. He didn't explain his logic. He just accepted his reward. The story didn't end there. A few weeks later, the king had another question for his court. He wanted to know the fastest way to travel from one end of his kingdom to the other. The generals talked about the swiftest horses. The engineers discussed building new, straighter roads. They argued for days, each trying to prove their idea was the best. The minister's son listened patiently to all the grand plans. He waited until everyone had spoken. Then, he stepped forward once more. He offered his simple answer to the king. It was an answer no one else had thought of. He told the king, "The fastest way to travel is with a good friend." The court fell silent. Many people snickered. They thought the boy was being silly again. How could friendship be faster than a speeding horse? But the king understood the deeper meaning. A long journey feels short when you have good company. The king smiled and rewarded the young man again. This time, he gave him a small bag filled with 10 silver coins. The son accepted the bag with a grateful nod. He put it in his pocket and returned to his spot, as quiet as ever. His reputation for being an odd, foolish boy began to grow. This pattern continued for many months. The king would ask a strange question. The wise men would offer complicated, important-sounding answers. And the minister's son would provide a simple, human truth. Each time, the king would reward him with more silver coins. The son never explained himself. He never tried to prove he was smart. He just collected his small rewards and went on his way. People in the court started calling him the king's fool. They laughed at him. They felt sorry for his brilliant father, who had such a simple-minded son. They didn't see the growing weight of the coin purses hidden in his pockets. The minister felt a mix of shame and confusion. He loved his son, but he could not understand his behavior. Why did he give such childish answers? Why didn't he try to earn the respect of the court? He saw the other ministers looking at him with pity. His own reputation felt threatened by his son's strange actions. He decided he had to speak with his son. He needed to understand what was happening. He worried that the boy was throwing away his future. He didn't realize that his son was actually building a different kind of success, one coin at a time. One evening, the minister sat his son down for a serious talk. "My son," he began, his voice filled with concern, "why do you behave this way at the court? You make a fool of yourself, everyone laughs at you, your answers are so simple, they are almost meaningless. You have a good mind. Why don't you use it to show them how smart you are?" The minister expected his son to be defensive or embarrassed. He was prepared for an argument. He wanted his son to understand the importance of reputation and respect. He wanted him to be a great man, just like his father. The young man listened calmly. He did not get upset. When his father was finished, he smiled a gentle smile. He reached into his coat and pulled out several heavy bags of coins. He poured them onto the table. A mountain of silver glittered in the candlelight. The minister gasped. He had never seen so much money in one place. "Father," the son said softly, "the other wise men argue for respect. They debate for honor. They leave the court with empty hands. I answer the king's true question. And I leave with a reward. Which of us is truly foolish?" In that moment, the minister understood everything. His son wasn't a fool at all. He was the wisest one in the entire kingdom. He saw what no one else did. The king wasn't looking for complex solutions. He was testing their character and their understanding of life. The son didn't care about impressing the other ministers. He didn't need their applause or their approval. He was playing a different game entirely. He focused on the real prize. He quietly collected his rewards while everyone else was busy trying to look smart. His success wasn't loud, but it was real and tangible. The father looked at his son with newfound pride. He saw not a fool, but a master of quiet strategy. His son had taught him a powerful lesson that day. Success doesn't always come with loud trumpets and cheering crowds. Sometimes, the greatest victories are won in silence. They are won by being patient, by understanding the real goal, and by not worrying about what other people think. The son knew his own worth. He didn't need anyone else to validate it for him. He was content with his quiet, steady progress toward his own goals. This story holds a beautiful lesson for all of us. You don't always need to announce your brilliance to the world. You don't have to prove yourself to people who may not understand your journey. Sometimes people will laugh at your ideas. They might think your dreams are too simple or too strange. They might call you a fool, just like they did to the minister's son. But if you know in your heart that you are on the right path, that is all that matters. Their laughter is just noise. It cannot stop you from moving forward. Trust yourself. True confidence comes from within. It's not about how many people clap for you. It's about knowing your own value, even when no one else sees it yet. The minister's son was successful because he wasn't distracted. He didn't get into arguments to prove he was right. He simply gave his answer, collected his reward, and waited for the next opportunity. This is the art of quiet success. It is about focusing on your actions and letting the results speak for themselves. You can build a mountain of silver coins while others are still arguing about the color of the sky. So, be patient with yourself and with your journey. Every small step you take is a coin in your pocket. It may not look like much to others, but these small wins add up over time. They build your foundation. They create real, lasting success. Be grateful for every opportunity, no matter how small it seems. Each one is a chance to learn and to grow. Don't compare your path to someone else's. Your journey is unique to you. Your definition of success is your own. The world is full of noise and opinions, but your inner voice is the one you must listen to. Remember this story when you feel misunderstood or overlooked. Quiet success is powerful. It is steady and strong. It doesn't need to be loud to be real. Keep your head up, keep your heart open, and keep moving forward on your own wonderful path. You have everything you need to succeed right inside of you. Just like the minister's son, you can achieve amazing things, one quiet step at a time. I'll see you next time.